Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Maths Made Easy with Terry in 10 minutes. Okay, so what we're going to talk about today, we're going to talk about fractional base and brackets with power, the sixth law, all right? We've talked about the previous one, so I advise that you go back, try to review the videos and ensure you understood them, practice more questions, and if you have any questions, let me know. And like I always say, make sure you subscribe so that when I upload new videos, you'll be the first person to know. All right, so let's start with this, fractional base and bracket with powers, okay? Now, how there are 4 rules here I want to talk about. So there are 4 things to do when solving questions like this. So like I always say, I say these rules or steps so that when you go back to revise your notes, okay, so it'll be easy for you to understand what I did. Is that okay? So the first thing you have to do is to multiply the power outside the bracket. So you're going to multiply the power outside the brackets. Okay, so you're going to multiply the power outside the bracket with the power of the numerator. All right, so when you're done multiplying, so the first thing you do, you multiply the power outside the bracket. Then the next thing, then you have to multiply the power outside the bracket with the power of the denominator as well. So what you did to the numerator, you then do the same thing to the denominator, okay? With. So you're going to multiply it with the power of the denominator, okay? Okay. Then when you're done with that, so you now have to check if there are any constants, maybe k or coefficients outside the bracket. Then you have to then multiply the resultant value with the coefficient. Is that okay? So if there are coefficients, okay, e.g. k, so it could be coefficients, it could be constants, okay? So outside the bracket, okay, multiply. So you then have to multiply the resultant value, okay? So multiply the resultant value. The resultant value with k. Resultant value with k, which is the coefficient or the constant, okay? Then when you're done with that, you then what? Simplify. So depending, then you simplify if necessary. Okay? In some cases, you don't need to simplify. In some cases, you have to simplify. So what I'm trying to say now is, for example, if we have example, let's say a over b raised to power m. Are you seeing it? You multiply the power outside the bracket with the power of the numerator. So it's going to be a raised to power m divided by b raised to power m. Are you seeing it? Now, if there's a constant, in this case, we had k a b raised to power m. So we know that a b raised to power m is a m b m. So we're going to multiply the resultant value with k, okay? So it's going to give us k into bracket a raised to power m divided by b raised to power what? M. Are you seeing it? Now that is that for that. So when you now simplify, it will be k times this. It's going to give us k a m over what? b m. Number C, the C part, the same principle, even if the power is a fraction, okay? So we have m over n. It's going to give us the same thing. It will be a m over n divided by b m over n. Then also, if there's a constant, okay, let's say we have a constant like k, a over b, raised to the power m over n. And that will give us the same thing. It's going to give us k. We know all this to be a m over n, b over m. So it's going to be a m over n divided by what? b m over n. Okay? So basically, this is what you do. This is how you solve it. So let's pick some examples now and see how we're going to go about it. So let's assume we have 2a over 5 all raised to the power what? 2. So remember I said the power is going to affect everything there. So this is going to be 2a all raised to the power 2 divided by 5 raised to the power 2. And if you remember the fourth law, when I said the power affects all the elements inside the bracket, so this is going to give us the same thing as 2 raised to the power 2 and a raised to the power what? 2. So remember I told you if you have a, b raised to the power m, it's the same thing as saying a raised to the power m, b raised to the power m. Or if you want to look at it in this way, it's the same thing as saying a raised to the power 1, b raised to the power 1, all multiplied by m. And that will give us m times 1 will give us what? M, and b times 1 will give us m. So any way you want to look at it, it will give you the same thing. All right. So let's move on. And this is going to give us 5 raised to the power 2. 2 raised to the power 2 is going to be 4. A raised to the power 2 divided by 5 raised to the power 2 is going to give us what? 25. So the answer for this is going to be 4a squared over 25. Now let's assume that we have a coefficient. Let's say we have 5 into bracket a over b squared raised to the power 2. Or let's make it 3 this time, okay? It's going to be the same thing. It's going to be 5, open bracket, a raised to the power 3 divided by b, 2 raised to the power what? 3. Are you seeing it? Then you open the bracket. So a raised to the power 3 divided by, remember I said a raised to the power m multiplied by n is equal to a raised to the power what? mn. Do you remember this law? So we're going to apply this now. So it'll be 2 times 3 will give us what? 6. And that will give us 5a3 over b raised to the power what? 6. So you can see that provided you know the right law, you can solve any question that you are being given. Is that okay? Now let's look at another one. We said we have 27 divided by 8, 2 raised to the power what? 3, okay? Now we can further solve this as 27, 2 raised to the power 3 divided by 8, 2 raised to the power what? 3. Now you can write this question, this 27, for those that have watched my previous video where I talked about the prime factor method, you can break down 27 to 3, 9, and you can break down 9 to what? 3 and what? 3. So that means this is the same thing as saying 3 times what? 3, which is the same thing as 3 raised to the power what? 3. So I can write 27 now as 3 raised to the power what? 3. 2 over 3. Now, the same thing. So please, if you've not watched my previous videos where I talked about prime factor tree method, okay? So please go back and have a look. So 8, we can break down 8 to be 2, and it'll give us 4. We can also bring down 4 to be what? 2, and what? 2. Are you seeing it? So we can now say 8 is the same thing as 2 times 2 times 2. And that will be 2 raised to the power what? 3. So this is 2 raised to the power 3. 2 over 3. Now we're done with that. Okay? But we need to keep on solving. Remember, we are meant to simplify. So if you check it out, remember I told you a raised to the power m multiplied by n is equal to a raised to the power mn. So you multiply 2 of them. So we're going to multiply this and this. So it's going to give us 3 over 3 times 2 over 3 divided by 2 raised to the power 3 times 2 over 3. And if you multiply 3 times 2 over 3, it's going to give us what? 2. If you multiply 3 and 2 over 3, it's going to give us what? 2. So the answer we're going to get here will be 9 over what? 4. And that is the answer for that. Okay? So the next one we're going to talk about, that is that for this law. So basically, when you have a fractional base, okay, and a power, you just multiply. Is that okay? You multiply the power with the base, and then you simplify using the relevant law. Now we're going to go to the next video, which is going to be law 7, okay? So in the next video, I'm going to go to the next law, which is going to be law 7, which is going to be positive fractional powers, okay? I'm going to introduce the 7th law, which is going to be positive fractional powers, okay? So I'm going to see you there. And if you have any question, please don't forget to send me an email and I'll get back to you. Or if you have any concerns or you want me to solve some questions that you're not sure, feel free. You can drop it in the comment section or you can send me an email and I'll get back to you. So I'm going to see you soon, okay? See you soon.